नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्तिः। Good evening. Sundaru Bonara, keeping well? It's very good. Our Surya Rao sir prefers to address you as my dear disciplined students. You are truly disciplined students. The other day sir took the prayer meeting, right, on Saturday evening. Whenever he addresses students, he addresses as my dear disciplined students. I like that phrase. You are really disciplined. You are like military. So please see page number 46. The first quote, very important and powerful quote. Strength is life. This is a great fact. Strength is life, weakness is death. Strength is felicity, life eternal, immortal. Weakness is constant strain and misery, weakness is death. The older I grow, the more everything seems to me to lie in manliness. This is my new gospel. You know, Swami Vivekananda traveled across the length and breadth of the world, and he had seen different human societies and studied human life thoroughly. You know, that's why we respect their knowledge, we revere them, we construct temples for them. The people who have understood life in its entirety, జీవితాన్ని పూర్తిగా అర్థం చేసుకున్నవాడు. We are also trying to understand it, okay, but our understanding is not complete. We are trying to figure out what life is. This is the ultimate piece that you need to study. Using this piece, we are operating so many machines, but this is the ultimate machine, you know, the machine. And long apprenticeship is required to operate this machine well. Long apprenticeship is required to know the trade of life and to operate this machine well. So all the suffering, all the misery that we see in the world is because of this, where you have not had a complete understanding of life. Swamiji is saying here, strength is life, weakness is death, weakness is constant strain. మనిషి బాధపడుతున్నాడంటే బలహీనతకు లోనయ్యాడనే. Some kind of weakness has overpowered you. When Swamiji talks about strength, he is talking about three kinds of strength: physical strength, intellectual strength, and spiritual strength. Bahubala, Buddhibala, and Atmabala. We need to have all three kinds of strengths. Sometimes we define it very narrowly, and people understand strength means only physical strength. They eat well, take exercises, do yoga, everything is fine. Physically, everything is fine, but absolutely no control over their minds. So it's not the ultimate strength. Physical strength we need to have, because a sound mind lies in a sound body. Only when the body is healthy, you will have positive thought and positive vibes. When the body is weak and a sickly person, he cannot be actually on high spirits, right? Body and mind, they go together. In the Mahabharata, we have a sloka. Vivido jayate vyadhi shariro manasastata parasparam tayorjanma nidvandvam na upalabhyate. Diseases of two kinds, mental and physical. Physical means bodily diseases. Parasparam tayorjanma, they come together like obverse and reverse of the same coin. Nidvandvam na upalabhyate, they don't come alone. So when the mind is sick, body automatically falls sick. When the mind is weak, in a depressive mood, it's just a matter of time before actually disease manifests in your physical body. And when body is sick, you can't be in high spirits. Oh, I am actually ailing, I am suffering, I have sickness, a prolonged sickness, and then actually I will be in good spirit. It's not possible. So both go together. And you know, doctors, today's doctors, they classify most of the diseases as psychosomatic, mind-born. Psychosomatic. And of course, unfortunately, what is happening in our society, we take these two things as cut and dry, separate, body and mind. And there are doctors for treating the physical body, and there are doctors for treating the mind, psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors, as if they are two separate entities. They go together. Right? So if you go to a doctor, you have fallen sick, and he will see the symptoms, you'll be asked to undergo some tests, and then afterwards some medicines are prescribed to you. But the doctor doesn't try to analyze the mind. He's supposed to. Suppose you have fallen sick, some BP is there, very high BP. And what kind of stress you are undergoing, what is your background, and what kind of thought is happening in your mind. He has to, ask some questions and elicit your response, and from that should find out your mental state. But unfortunately, our doctors are equipped to do that. And for that, you have to see a different doctor. So, but they are two, one and the same. The physical thing that has happened to you happened because somewhere something is wrong here, right? The same doctor has to detect it. But unfortunately, the medicine is not that holistic here, because mind is something separate. It's a part of your own system. They study only the brain, but they don't study the mind. That is the problem. They study only the brain, the physical aspect. They don't study the mind, thought, because thought is subtle and invisible. आलोचना करना पड़ता है मन के. आप देख सकते हैं आपका सोच. You can't, right? But that is there, You feel, you experience it. You experience positive thought, you experience negative thought. Tangibly, positive thought will give you strength, they will give you joy and happiness. The negative thought actually is the reverse. It makes you weak, it makes you feel sickly. So that's the reason you need to nourish your mind. You need to have good mental health also. For that, you need to nourish the mind in the sense that every day give some few good positive thoughts to your mind. That's how you need to cultivate the mind. There is a book in our bookstall of Swamiji. The title of the book is Vivekananda and His Call to the Nation. Very small book, maybe 15 rupees, 1.5. Vivekananda and His Call to the Nation. Every day when you get up in the morning, 2 pages you read. That's all. You have nourished your mind for that day. You have nourished your mind for that day. And the next day again you have to read 2 pages. If you don't read, actually next day you have not given nourishment to your mind. You are not eating on alternate days. This week I ate, next week I will not eat. You are not saying, right? Just as you nourish your physical body with food on a daily basis, you need to nourish your mind with good thoughts on a daily basis. Every day, 2 pages, good thought, positive thought. You must give to the mind. Then only you will be healthy mentally. Most of the time we don't pay attention to the mind. Once we become sick and totally actually, in low spirits, when you go into low spirits and then you're feeling low, are all half depressed, then you feel like, seeing a psychologist and psychiatrist. But that is not the way. My mind is my responsibility. My thoughts are my responsibility. My health is my responsibility, both physical and psychological. And the third thing is, I know that it's not easy to control the mind. For that, we need spiritual strength. Atma Bala. How do we gain spiritual strength? Prayer. Prayer. What is prayer? Prayer is the means which helps us to connect with the divine. Prayer is the means which helps us to connect with the divine, the ultimate power in this universe. We have not done this universe. We are part of the creation, right? There is a higher power which you call by the name God. Some may be calling him by the name Allah, some may be calling him by the name Brahman, some may be calling him by the name Jehovah. But the names may be different, but the ultimate truth that you are referring is one and the same. So the power, the omnipotent power which has created, which has conceived, which has designed a universe of this magnitude. So whenever you pray to God, whenever you remember God, whenever you repeat God's name, you are trying to connect yourself with that ultimate source of power, namely the creator of this universe. How do you do that? Through prayer. So prayer also, you must make it a part of your daily routine. Prayer, repetition of God's name, paropakara, a little selfless service that gives you so much of joy. Vivekananda would tell again and again, again and again. So root cause of all suffering is I and mine, I and mine. मुझे क्या मिलता है, मुझे क्या मिलता है, why should I do that? मुझे क्या मिलता है, why should I do it? You give that up. You only will gain. You can't help anybody. By helping others, you help yourself truly. So this paropakara, selfless service also you have to engage in. And then meditation. These are the processes, these are the spiritual practices which help you, to keep good physical and mental health. When you have good physical and mental health, you have contributed to your family and you have contributed to the society and you have contributed to the country. If you just see the kind of the degree of the sickness that is there in our society, you can be sure that somewhere something has gone wrong. The kind of disease and sickness that is there across the world today. Intha anarogyama, intha rogama, sharirika, manasika. Aina mana inni chaduvulu chadukoni enduku intamandi rogaనికి గురవుతున్నారు? Why so many people are falling sick? In every house actually there is some patient. If it is a psychological patient, it is a great torture. If you are physically patient, I will show you to doctor and I will give some medicines and treatment can be done. But if this goes, very difficult. So my health is my responsibility, both physical and psychological. Nurture the mind with good thoughts on a daily basis. Okay? Thank you. Nice evening.